What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I know it's been a couple days since I've come on the platform. I just been working and focusing on me lately. Not much to report in the big world of ballots, but I do know that people in my zip code, at least where I work, I'm delivering some ballots. I know some of my coworkers have received them. Me, unfortunately, I haven't received mine yet. But there's still a decent amount of time. We got to January 13th. Today is December 19th, so a little under a month left. All right. I was able to go to Branch 41, little vote no campaign. It was pretty awesome. There was a lot of CLC support over there. Okay, we had James Henry speak to the membership. We had the Congresswoman come down. That was pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And for a Republican Congresswoman to lend support to the Postal Service, that's quite interesting, right? Because we have all this talk about consolidation and privatization of the Postal Service. But I think that if we are being, rational minded people, that's just talk. Okay, that's just talk. Postmaster Donahue 10 years ago in 2014 was talking the same nonsense. I think the difference here is that we do have a strong postmaster. Whether you guys agree or disagree with me, I don't see Louis DeJoy leaning towards privatization. I think that's more of a talking point on national politics. Okay, I don't think your local politicians are going to support a privatized postal service. Okay, I just don't see that happening. At least not under the Trump administration. Okay, I think that rural America will be the voice of power and reason in this case of privatization because they will be the ones most greatly affected. Okay, the private carriers don't want to use the resources to deliver to Kansas or to Montana or to Utah. Okay? There's going to be a rude awakening of the American people. And quite frankly, I mean, the local politicians are going to hear so much from the baby boomers who greatly rely on the mail system. Let me backtrack. All right, guys. You want to know how we stop privatization from happening? Okay, every letter carrier who is listening to this message, I'm going to expand that message. Any person listening to this message, you know what you do today? Okay, look at some of the people you do business with, whether that's American Express, whether it's Chase, whether it's Bank of America, whether it's Credit One, whether it's Merit Bank, whether it's M&T Bank, whoever you bank with. Okay, let's think about your cable company, AT&T, DirecTV, Frontier. Okay, your light company, Con Ed, Eversource. Okay, your delivery services, if you still get milk or paper services, right? If you just take two of your many bills, okay, and just ask for a paper monthly statement, all right? I'm not talking about the companies that are going to charge you $3 a month to get a paper statement, but look at the ones that offer it for free. Okay, I know some people give you a discount if you do paperless statements, but we're not talking about that. I'm not trying to cost you guys any money. All right, what I'm trying to say is if you remove two of your bills from electronic statements and you put two pieces of mail back into the system, okay, if every person listening to this does that, okay, if every letter carrier does it, it's easier for me to do the math with those numbers. If every letter carrier puts two of their bills back into the mail, okay, and I'm just saying receiving from the person sending you the bill, okay, that's 200,000 letter carriers times two, okay, that's what, 400,000 pieces of mail by the snap of the finger, okay? Now, if you just pay one of your bills by check, or you have to send a correspondence to your bill collector with a stamp. Now I'm charging you. Now I'm costing you something. That's another letter. Okay, guy. Every letter counts. All right. Every letter counts. All right. especially in those places where the delay of mail is being threatened. Okay, that's where we fight back. That's how we show that the system's still being used. But back to my original statement, I don't think that privatization has a chance. Not today. The Postal Service is a service. Okay, it's not a business. It's not designed to be profitable. It is a service for the American people, and we have mandates from Congress. I believe Congress has two mandates. One is the Postal Service. One is to protect our borders. Other than that, everything else is created by the President of the United States under the power of the executive branch. Okay? Any other agency is an extension of the executive branch. Okay? The Constitution is the legislative branch. The legislative branch in the Constitution, we have a postal service and we have a national defense. All right, guys. So in order to change the postal service, it's not the executive branch that has to change it. It is the legislative branch. Okay, and that is your congressmen, your senators, and your representatives. All right, and if you guys follow my videos, your two senators. Okay, your two senators are from your state, which means, all right, your local politicians and your local politics. Okay, as long as you're active, you got a voice, all right? And if your senators are hearing that you are supporting the Postal Service, using the Postal Service, they're not going to get rid of it. Because you know why? They want to keep that seat in Congress. And if they get voted out by voting on something so foolish like privatizing the Postal Service, you get where I'm going? Anyways, yeah, the Branch 41 thing was amazing. I got to meet James Henry. I got to meet President Cruz out of Branch 41. I got to meet a lot of local stewards and some members of the executive council out there. They inspired me. I think I'm definitely going to add another hat to the things I do. I think I might become a shop steward in my office, just because, there's one thing I wasn't, putting together in this whole picture that I'm doing on YouTube, is that by me doing this, I gain support, by so many people that can help me be an effective shop steward. The more that we post content here, the more that people offer their comment and their suggestions, but the more that people, gravitate towards you, right? And so by me doing this, I see that, I can learn a lot from people who are already doing what I want to do, all right? And that's fantastic. I want to say thank you to my community. I am nothing without you guys. I'm learning every day as I'm doing this. Going forward, guys, this fight is not just a 2024 fight. At least for me, I know I'm going to be fighting this good fight as long as I'm employed in the Postal Service, And don't forget, guys, this is the greatest moment in organized labor history. And we are on the fence as a union, okay? In a couple of weeks, we're going to see exactly which way this union has been leaning for the last 2 years, okay? Now, disclaimer, whatever door we are led to, okay, there's going to be work when we open that door. If we vote no collectively, there's going to be work. If the majority of the union votes yes at the end of this this tentative agreement, then there's work behind that door. No matter which way we are led, there's gonna be work, and I hope you guys are prepared for it. All right, I'll leave you with this: life isn't easy, but it sure is simple if you follow some rules, right? And this process is simple. Okay, this process is extremely simple. It's laid out in the Constitution. All right, there's a process that follows whether either one of those doors open. All right, and then if we have to join collectively and change some things in 2026, so be it. All right, guys. But right now, we are living in the moment. We only have today, so don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't stress the things that you have no control over. All right, guys, just have faith in your brothers and sisters, and that they will do what is best for them. And then collectively, once we get the results, we'll do what's best for this union. All right, guys, until next time, I'll be here. You'll be there. Peace.